pad with the Wi-Fi that I have here, and it looks like it's doing a good job. So this is a Samsung Tab A, and I really have you've been using it a lot since I've got it a couple of months ago. Now, the primary reason that I did get the Samsung Tab A, and this like what you call a tablet, is because I needed help with looking into legal issues using something that was easy to use but didn't take up too much of my camera time because my Samsung S9 is it's got only so much room or space on the screen and so much battery, so much memory, and I was using it a lot when I was doing my criminal research. But then I decided to stop that. See, it's like before I got this Samsung Tab A, uh, I had either the laptop or the phone, pretty much, to use one of the two, and it's too difficult. Like the laptop was too cumbersome, and it just didn't have much life to it. Oh, good morning, Captain. Wow, congratulations on your promotion. Uh, and I just I didn't have the enough battery life for my laptop to use outside of a library. That laptop is primarily a plug and use uh, piece of machinery as opposed to using outside of the library, outside of plugging in. Plugging in is just such an issue with the laptop. And also no, I'll bring that up later. So I needed something in between the laptop and the phone, pretty much, for little uses in between. I actually considered getting a second phone, but decided against the second phone, and I'm glad I did. There was a time where I had an iPad, Apple iPad, and I liked it, but it was iPad 3, but the technology just got too slow and cumbersome, and it just wasn't really holding up to task. It's like it's too bad that you look back and it's like these pads, these iPads and ePads and all these different touch screen pads, they can't maintain that speed and performance like the newer pads can. Even though they all look the same, it's crazy. But the prices dropped. I mean, I had that iPad 3 for what a few years, from 2013 to 2015 or 16, until it just, like, I don't know, Apple stopped updating iPad 3, and then it just got slow. It's like these little tablet things, they get too slow or the technology falls behind, and then you gotta get a new one. They can't the developers can't keep up with the updates. They lose motivation or something, and you got to get a new one. um, as simple as these tablet things are supposed to be, you make them once, and then you should be able to like keep it updated for more than what 3 or 4 years. Should be able to at least to save on trash. Although the batteries do die too. That was an issue. All right, that Apple iPad was losing battery life kind of early. But I mean, why design these machines to have batteries that you can't just take in and out, like they're double A batteries or something? You can't do that. It's all one units in here. But yeah, this pad has been a real help, between the laptop and the phone, having the Samsung tablet has been really good. Hello, it's Red Volsung. Thank you for greeting me this morning. So I'm testing out plan. You gotta buy a new one. Yeah, it's planned for sure, Captain. They just have a system set up now to make money, recurring investment money. Uh, and I mean, I understand the technology does improve, or it seems to improve. They put on a good show, at least, with updates on technology and improvements in technology. Um, to when you really rather go back, horses and pencils. Yeah, I mean, 100 years ago, that'd be pretty cool. I mean, there wouldn't be so much paved road. Although I drove on some road in this small town that was just awful. You couldn't get a you couldn't get a horse wagon across it, let alone my Ford Focus. It was a lot of puddles, and it's raining right now. This is a rainy day, sitting in front of the library. I don't know how long this Wi-Fi is pretty good. I shouldn't say I don't know how long it'll last. It's doing good, and a lot of reason this Wi-Fi is good is because of this Samsung Tab A. It's pretty impressive. Um, the Wi-Fi pickup is much stronger in this tablet than the laptop and my Samsung S9 phone. I didn't know how weak my Samsung phone's Wi-Fi pickup receiver was until I got this tablet, the Samsung tablet. I didn't really know how weak my laptop Wi-Fi is until I got this tablet. I'm picking up Wi-Fi in front of a lot of Walmarts now. I can park in front of Walmarts and play on the Wi-Fi. Park kind of close in a lot of ways. Finished with my case in Williston. No, that's just getting started. We're at the phase where I'm just letting my lawyer do his thing. Take our time, take our sweet time. Letting him investigate. I'm not talking to the guy so much. I'm just letting him work his investigative nature. What? Good morning, Heinz. How are you? It's a pleasure. Okay, thank you, Jackie. I know that you have your podcasts and stuff, and I've seen like a little bit of one. It's curious, especially with the Zoom, using the Zoom. I'd like to learn more about the Zoom and stuff. Um, let's see. What's the worst possible outcome of the Williston case? The worst possible outcome as they try to go for some contempt charges against me to add to the 10 days or the 20 days with each charge, 20 days of jail, $250 fine each charge, so $500 fine. So 20 days in jail, $500 fine, plus some kind of maybe contempt. Although the judges seem to made it clear, and I'll say I can comment, I think, because it's in writing that you can look up on my criminal case history on his response of why I got approved for a lawyer was that I'm not wasting the court's time. In fact, I went so far as to write a sanction against the prosecutor for them taking too much time, and that was to be argued on November 31st. But instead, the judge decided to talk about the. I'm not on Zoom. I'm not on Zoom. It's StreamYard. You've heard of now, and Periscope. I'm not familiar with StreamYard. Should download it and have people come. Well, maybe there's an app for it then. I could invite people to it? Wow. That's probably for laptop use only, because this ePad or the Samsung Tab A is strong signal. In fact, I'm blocking with my holding it the way I am. I gotta like in some Walmarts, I gotta position, I gotta angle this thing just right. I gotta have it sometimes on in the perfect spot in my car so I could get that Wi-Fi signal. Because if I move it 2 inches over, I lose the signal in places that I park. But I mean, that's not a case with the Samsung S9. The Samsung S9 will just fail anywhere in the front of the Walmart parking lots. But I could get, you can run. Oh yeah, you can do it from a phone. Okay, it's called the Yard StreamYard. All right, I'll have to look into that after this. That's interesting. StreamYard. Yeah, there's a lot of one. I suppose maybe you got to consider the alternatives to Zoom since China is now is now like gathering information off of Zoom that the U.S. government seems to be rallying against. So they might ban that like they banned TikTok. If you need character references for your case, you could easily identify 50,000 positive refer. Oh yeah, yeah. It's pretty interesting how social media really helps spread the interaction. Like people, like it's more than just me who felt like I was a part of this arrest in Williston. There's also the viewers who also in a way participated in the arrest as well. They served as witnesses. 50,000 people in the library that watched it. I'm promoting that video too, or just I'm promoting Williston in general. That's why I changed the name of my cop channel to Travis Hines V. Dot Williston, North Dakota. I'm trying to promote that video, let people really get people like to look at that first. I feel like we know you much better than anyone in that court. Yep, yeah, it's this the power of social media. It really helps help you spread your personality. It helps me spread my wonderful personality around the world to help people understand me and maybe I could become an influencer and change policy. In fact, I'll take credit for personally changing the federal law uh, that requires all federal agents who participate in let's say protests or the group rallies. Federal agents now have to identify themselves uh, um, somehow on their uniforms with their names and then their affiliations. I'll take personal credit for that. No, that's probably some other issue. I've never gone to like a rally or a protest. I kind of avoid them. I I'm concerned about large groups. I have a tendency to avoid them. So for me to get any attention when I avoid groups of people is remarkable. Okay, it's absolutely remarkable. But I mean, there's other. I guess you could call me a loner. That's somebody who spends time alone, a lot of time alone, and avoids groups and people and a lot of established areas those type of for loners to get attention is pretty amazing. Okay, because I mean that's people want to see groups and interactions and all that, and I'm kind of running away from that. That's just I'm concerned about issues like where's the bathroom and where can I like cook some food? Where can I go to a grocery store and cook some food? Because I don't want to eat from the vendor. It's like I got have kids, and I don't want to pay a lot of money for a restaurant. So that's you gotta be able to spend some money in the groups. It it's and there's a give and take, and you just don't have any privacy. What if I want to just drop down and do some push-ups? you can't really do that in a group setting. That's why I look. I'm like no, nomadic. Well, nomadic fanatic is pretty. He's more social fanatic than nomadic fanatic in my opinion. He's got so much support and money. I'm I'm looking for places. What's that? Which state would you pick to live in permanently? The north part of California, or the south, or just the coast area of Oregon up to the mountains. But I mean that's just been I've really liked that area just because you could stay there. I mean year round, but the weather allows you to do that. But then I mean the weather allows other people to do that too. So it's so congested. Oh, I covered up my mic. Really? It's in the center? Oh yeah, it is in the center. Oh my god, I covered my mic up. I'm trying to hold my thing steady. All right. Yeah, my volume should be more like um, open now. Yeah, I was putting my finger over my mic so that uh, whoa, now somebody's ears are getting blasted. All right, I know I covered the mic, so I'll agree with that. But I don't think I'm too loud. Um, Maybe people turned up their volume after I pulled my finger off. That was a mistake. That was an accident. I've never really done the live stream with like a pad, an e-pad or a tablet. I prefer to call them tablets. So it's amazing. I can see the chat screen a lot easier. I can really see it without having to fidget too much. Although I can't really hold the screen very steady. It's all over the place. I can't. I mean, you see how steady my hands are, but they're not that steady. Lonely with the internet, not really. I talk to myself. I was talking to a horse last night. Can you? I'll say where I'm at. Runestone Park. These people are. I don't think anybody can hear it. Shouldn't be a big conspiracy. These people are claiming that the Vikings came and climbed the mountain nearby. It's a state park, Runestone Park, and left some inscriptions, and that's it. They only left Viking inscriptions, and then left, and then it was confirmed by Indians. I forget the name. It's all up on top of the hill. You can read about it. Oh, the horse just came over. It's surprising. The horse like kind of comes over and just stares at me and then goes back to eating. It turned its back on me, standing close to me, so I understand that. That's a sign of friendly respect when they feel comfortable to turn their backs to you. Um, but I parked. Yeah, there's Vikings in Oklahoma, East Oklahoma. Where am I? What city am I again? Heavener. I'm in Heavener. Maybe I could type that in. No, maybe not. Can I type? Oh no, I can't. I don't see how. Oh, I can type. Top chat. Oh no, that's not. I don't think I'm able to type actually. I'll just say it's called Heavener, Oklahoma. And there's a Runestone Park. It's a state park. People claim that Vikings got as far as inland of the continental U.S. as Heavener, and left a runestone inscription, and it's on display. And they gave a little bit of history about it. But you know what's more interesting about the history of Runestone Park to me is all the amazing architecture that's up there and how it's free. I'm leaving. I'm leaving this town. It's raining. I can't do anything outside. I'm leaving. It's this is I'm doing a stream and go. I'm just drop in for a stream and going. That's the plan because I can't really do much else. I walked around early in the morning and recorded inside some windows, especially of a bank. It's pretty cool. But now I'm ready to to just drive, and I guess, I don't know, just try to find somewhere with some roof cover so I can maybe get some exercise. Cause it's just, I don't want to be stuck in a car all day. But Runestone Park is like a Vikings, a Viking settlement that they only left hieroglyphics on a rock. They carved in some words on a rock that were interpreted as being something special, and then left it at that. No other artifacts left behind. They even went so far on the top of this mountain. It's pretty much a mountain, but I did bicycle to the top. I parked at the bottom next to the horse and rode my bicycle to, well, I walked to the top, but I rode my bicycle down. Very tall hill, and then they went so far as to explain the type of boat that Vikings were using that would have worked to go through the rivers of the U.S. to get to Runestone Park. They really are selling this. And I mean, why not? You know, if you can market it, you can make money. But they're not charging money to get Connecticut. Yeah, how many Vikings reached Connecticut? Yeah, I looked further south, and it's still raining down south from me, but I'll go south anyway. I'm heading south. But I will say, from here, I can't go directly south because there's a lot of mountainous, like long mountains. So the roads are designed to drive around these mountains, and if there's a low area, I guess they were able to drive a road, carve a road through the mountain in some spots. But the road system is no longer the perfect grid that you find in the flat open areas of the plains. I'm not so much in the plains anymore now. Do you have any interest? Well, I had I walked up as far as the border of Mexico along the Texas region, but I don't really know the language, and it's a hassle with the paperwork, so I didn't really look into the paperwork. Usually all that kind of paperwork costs money, and I don't really have a lot of money, so that's an extravagance. That's for the that's more for people who are highly motivated, if they're poor, to get to Mexico. And I am not highly motivated, so I'm not really willing to spend that kind of money to get into Mexico. So I never tried when I was through Texas, and I don't plan on getting close to the border. When I go south, I'm going to be east of Dallas, if I even get that far. I don't think I'll make it to the Gulf this time, because I'm taking my time going south. It's already the early part of January. I plan to continue a southerly path until January 30th, January 31st, February 1st, and then I'll gauge what the weather's like. But at about February 1st is when I'm going to just redirect and start heading north again, slowly, because that's the coldest period of time is February 1st. I like to think of it as the coldest period of time. It's not December 23rd, the shortest day of the year. It's a month after that, roughly, that the real cold hits in general. And then going back north is looking pretty good, because I don't want to be caught in the heat. Yeah, northeast. I'm going northeast, southeast right now. Wow, Biden wants to make me rich. Yeah, I'm taking my time, and I'm really taking my time this time, because I'm exercising more and I can handle the cold weather better. There was some nights, like a few years ago, when I wasn't really, all I was doing is bicycling and walking, and 20-degree weather would really get me. It would just like make me feel like I'm dying. I would wake up feeling like I'm about to freeze to death. And now that I'm exercising more with my dip bars, they're in there. Yeah, I got they can't really see them. Dip bars. I got a 12-inch footstool. It's like I'm doing more exercise, and I'm I'm surviving the cold nights without waking up with my head feeling like it's gonna fail on me or whatever. Um, it's a all this exercise is really warming things up and making the cold more tolerable. But yeah, when it starts warming up, if I get too warm areas, then it's hard to exercise. So I need the cold weather. So I don't know if I'll make it far south. It'd be curious. There's this type of like leaf that grows on a shrub that only lines the Gulf of Mexico area on the coast. Someone is going to make and discover you and make TV. No, this is the TV series on YouTube. So it's called the Yelpon. This there's this leaf that grows on a bush. There's this bush that like has a leaf that has caffeine in it, and the Indians used to trade that with the more northern Indians. And I'm very curious about going on to the coast to look for this leaf, so I can boil it in a teapot. All right, I want to boil it in a teapot and make a little natural North American tea with it. Um, big TV series will result. Who needs big money? All I need are some big leaves of grass that I can boil in my teapots. I got 5 of them. I'm cutting back a little bit on my tea. Yeah, this is the one. Because I noticed that the Indian grass tends to cause. I think it tends to stop my proton pump from pumping out acid in my stomach. So, I mean, I got a solution to that. Just have more black pepper. Or have more ginger. I got to stimulate my digestive juices because the Indian grass seems to repress the digestion. I was suffering for a long time. It's like heart issue. Well, it's two things. Aren't you the guy homeless because you had bad stuff on? Yeah, I did not have bad stuff on my computer. Um, just regular porn like everybody else. But I had a roommate named Paul Hurt who died in 2014 at age 24. He wanted to get his revenge on me, and there was some issues with. I think there's some issues with titling. I just downloaded whatever. It was all interesting stuff, like like things that were interesting to me at the time back in 2005, where you had like just you could just download all kinds of stuff that you wanted to, and it ranged so much. I'll just say the stuff that the cops kept on my computer, because they went through my computer. I was like, go ahead, whatever. You can go through my computer and wipe out. They said they wanted to wipe things out of my computer before giving it back to me. I'm like, go ahead and do that, but just keep my college stuff, okay? At least keep the college documents up. So they wiped out stuff, but they kept the Seinfeld. I had Seinfeld episodes. They kept those up. They kept up a pamphlet, an ebook, a PDF on growing marijuana. All right, so they wiped out all other, like the porn stuff, all of that. You know, they couldn't figure out what's legal, what's not legal, because it wasn't the content. They looked at the content and they found that there's just no way to show, you know, what was illegal or not. There's nothing illegal. It was what got their attention, I think, were some titles that might have been questionable for these videos or whatever, and that was it. Well, and that's the thing. A lot of people use my computer too. I shared my computer with roommates. I didn't mind. I just like, go ahead, you know, whatever, use it. But I also I'll say that there was a time where you could like BitTorrent and share. People were sharing all kinds of stuff. I was interested because this is the early 2000s. I would download anything I could read or watch or whatever, and it was like movies. I downloaded illegal movies like you know, that people were taking their cameras to to movie theaters and recording movies. I downloaded illegal movies, music. I downloaded a ton of illegal music. I mean, it's just all forms of entertainment, ebooks, whatever I could read. Like, there was a book I really enjoyed about like the pickup artist, how to like pick up women. There's an ebook on that. I'll just sit in front of my computer and read this guy's uh, book, his ebook on my computer. It's just amazing. It's like it was pretty cool to be able to get free this type of free stuff that people are just sharing. Uh, there was no like this was not a case where I was being I was a part of a ring. Like I was like this was not a case of me being a part of a ring, a network or whatever of and like a lot of people get arrested in these type of circles where they distribute really bad stuff. I was just going to, I don't know what you call it, Bear Share, Morpheus. I don't know if anybody heard of these old like they're called like BitTorrent download sites or whatever. You just download whatever. I think people are still sharing illegal movies, like movies that didn't even come out in the movie theater yet. Like they were just illegally shared. Like I watched a Star Wars movie before it even got to the movie theaters. All right, it was bad quality, but it was like I gotta see this. The newest Star Wars movie that didn't even make it to the movie theaters yet. It wasn't released, but it was on the internet already, and we could just download it. It kind of got me interested in watching it at the movie theater because it was poor quality. The one that I downloaded. Yeah, you can't. You can't trust many people out there. Let's see. Yeah, and that's the thing too. It's the overzealousness of the police, too. They're willing to really make you look bad. So I mean I hope to really show that. That's why I'm free and open about talking about this porn arrest. I'll talk about that because you look at my history and it's like I'm getting harassed by cops all the time and all these charges and these extra charges and accusations. Oh, I'm parked too close to a school. I'm parked too close to a church, or I'm parked too close to a business. All these claims. I feel like it's my duty to talk about these accusations because they're just nonstop, and people actually get thrown in jail for these accusations. The cops will make up the accusation and then use that accusation as the primary way to get people thrown in jail, regardless of what the truth is, what the truth was. Well, I made that video about being homeless because of that particular arrest in Rice Lake. I mean, just to talk about it. I had this awful troll for a long time giving me a hard time, telling me to, oh, why don't you make a video of it? This is the same Flathead Lake. I'm not familiar with that, but I know the Flatheads are in Washington. So good morning to you, Redbacks. Yeah, I had this troll. I mean, the worst troll I ever seen. He actually got my channels shut down for a month, and just dealing with that guy. He was like, just make a video about that arrest in Rice Lake. So that just, I don't know. He just wanted me to do it, and I'm like, I'll give in to the troll. Let's talk about it. But I waited until the time when I actually felt like talking about it. And I didn't even know that Paul Hurt was dead at the time I made that video. But yeah, if you look up Travis Hines Rice Lake that's the first thing that pops up, that my discussion about this arrest in Rice Lake. But yeah, the cops are bad. At that house, I mean, I took in some bad renters. I lived there. I lived under the mindset that I wanted to buy. I bought a house. I owned that for 8 years, and I wanted to rent out spare bedrooms to like make a little money to pay for bills and stuff. And I pretty much took in everybody. Oh yeah, the torso toaster. That was an idea for just something I could do to make myself. I didn't want to like pay extra money for somebody to make something for me. But yeah, now I gave in, and I love snow pants. I don't even bother with torso toaster stuff anymore. Yeah, renting. No, I own the house, and then I rented out spare bedrooms, and I took in teenagers at times, young guys, that because I was nearby the college, so Burger King was right across the street. Yeah, and that was not a good convenience though, because I should not have eaten Burger King. That stuff was not healthy. I made some bad dietary choices with Burger King, but I didn't know. I know if I knew the things now that I knew back then, I'd definitely have improved my life, because I enjoy boiling grass and getting the benefits from that. But even in my 30s, when I was just learning about herbal therapies, I didn't know how to exactly like consume the herbs. It took a number of years to get to the point where I'm at. Gene Hines. Okay, you're talking about my dad. I don't think that guy knows who I am anymore. He's got Alzheimer's, so whatever research you've done on the guy, I mean, I think I think you're going in a rabbit hole, because they don't know anything about me unless they watch my videos, which I don't believe that they do so much. And plus, having Alzheimer's doesn't help. It's plausible denial, just lie. Well, lying, I mean, you got to remember your lies. I'm a truth. I stick to the truth. I mean, what do I have to lie about? I'm not engaging in anything illegal. I'm just minding my own business. Let's see. Yep, Victor. All right. Good morning to James. Yeah, the cops like to lie a lot. That's why, I mean, you gotta like question them right in the field. You don't like try to get them to tell the truth after the fact. You have to okay, Major Tom's done his research on the family I came from. All right, you have no family to investigate that I created, because I created no family. I think you're doing a good job looking into the background of the family I came from, but there's nothing that you can let's say, what do they say, like hold against me with that. Let's see, what do they call that? Extortion? Is that the word? I don't know. There's nothing. If I actually had a kid, and I had to protect their life, then you'd have something against me, because then that would be my primary focus of protection. I don't need to protect the family I came from. So whatever you're trying to prove with that background research, there's nothing to stand up for me. You have them blindfolded in your basement? I mean, have fun. There's nothing I can do about it. I can't. I don't even know what's going on with them. We don't talk. You have my mom and dad blindfolded in your basement? Is that it? Oh well. Defamation. Yeah, whatever. They only know my childhood, and I'd done some dumb things as a child. I broke my tooth at about 14. I mean, you want to, what is that word? Blackmail. Blackmail, I think extortion's like the similar word. A new auditor, Nate the Butcher, is you're going to be a new auditor. Well, you have to have fun doing it. That's a priority. That's the first thing. But I mean, it's amazing what number of views people get for going out into the field and recording interactions. I really don't do a lot of auditing myself. There's real professionals out there that might be writing up manuals on how to properly do it. You gotta have fun doing it. You gotta enjoy doing it. Don't make it a chore. Like if you exercise, you go to the gym, and there's like a day where you don't feel like going to the gym. Don't go. Go somewhere else. Okay, thank you for the kind words, Harvey Peters. Oh, wait, I still have junk in Grandma's shed you need to get rid of. That's junk. Why would I don't have room for the junk, so you can take it. Major Tom, have it. Please go and get it for me, and take it and do whatever you want with that junk, okay? It's yours now. So... yeah, the auditing lifestyle, and do you want to make auditing a full-time lifestyle? I mean, how much time are you willing to commit to it? Let's see. James says, I have yet to see you commit any crime. Yeah, there's every video is just about it's about the same kind of interaction every video with cops. All right, there's a back and forth questioning, but I mean there's different results from practically the same thing because of the personalities I deal with. So you're really learning about the cops. I try to maintain a similar approach with cops. All right, from a lot from what I've learned on other videos of people's interactions with cops. I won't take everything that these auditors, First Amendment auditors, say with cops. I'm not gonna shove my camera in a cop's face and hurl insults at him for a reaction. All right, I try to maintain a more neutral approach. Harvey Peters is interested in politics. Have you ever been outside the USA? Yeah, I've been outside the USA. I was in the Air Force for 4 years and traveled a bit. Let's see, new van. That new van would be nice. Man, I could use some room. While it's raining, I'm in this cramped car. Let's give that. Let's see. Okay. See, crystal clear audits. Where is the new van I thought someone was going to give you? Yeah, someone did offer a van. Yeah, he said it's broken down and I have to fix it up though. The car's holding up, so yeah, it's cramped. Once again, I gotta appreciate the car working at least, even though it's cramped. I still have to appreciate that it's in good shape. Across the country, I've been watching them and the traders in courts for 18 years. Yeah, there's a lot to see. A lot of these audits just crave attention and suffer from some mental health issue. Well, I don't know about mental health. That sounds like a cop. See, that's the thing about cops. People who talk like cops will accuse you of being drunk, accuse you of having mental issues, say you're going to jail for a long time. There's a lot of themes with this. The way it's a certain style that the cop heads tend to use when they talk with you. You're the problem. You sound like you're on drugs. You sound like you're drunk. You have mental issues. All right, they're projecting these things on you. You're going to jail for a long time because of the things you've done in the past in some way. They'll project this stuff on you. It's amazing. Matty Ice is really showing some true colors. Let's see. Travis would not want to be president. Yes, that's true. Did you win your case? I don't know. Am I winning my case? Yes, I'm probably winning my case, but it's not set in stone. I at least won the last debate about getting a lawyer, trying to stick with the Constitution. Let's see, Major Tom's. Oh, okay. Let's see, Maddie, does that girl still? Let's see, wants to be Mrs. Hines? Yeah, she's in here now. They accused, but she's more Mother Hines. She's my mom more than my wife. They accuse you of what they do. You're exact. It's never them. It's always it's always you. They're blaming you. And it's a way to put the ball in your court, so you have to swing. They're constantly have to make you swing. And that way they stay on top of the game. They're the pitchers. They're throwing the curveballs and the knuckleballs and the fastballs at you, and it's just they don't give you time in between the swings. They keep throwing those balls at you, and waiting for that strikeout. I believe some cops are adrenaline junkies. Yeah, definitely. Officer Cruz proved how much he loves to jack up his energy. Just by his interactions with me, I could really see that he was wired. He was wired on something. And it's easy to get wired on these energy drinks. But then, alcohol off duty, energy drinks on duty type of thing. That's the cop. That's the cop cocktail. Let's see. Two worthless parties running. Let's see. And then they throw the screwball. However that looks. See there's a Vacaville. Is that in California? That sounds familiar, like I've been there before. You're all okay. Do you think Major Tom might be Cruz? No, Cruz is Cruz. Cruz is too dumb to be doing a lot of research on me. I believe he's Colorado Trucker 2008, because he was Colorado Trucker, and I believe about 2008, and he just sticks with the same message over and over. POS, POS. How much money are you making on YouTube? You POS. That's his approach. He's not smart enough to really. He doesn't, because he's busy drinking. He's in his prime drinking stage right now, and I don't believe alcoholics do a lot of research. They're more involved getting themselves high and out of touch with reality. They're not doing research on you. But I believe that Cruz is perusing the channel every so often. Maybe not this channel. Definitely the cop channel. California, Vacaville is like Southern California or something. That's a familiar city. I believe I've been there. I didn't have any problems with cops over there. I don't think I had any problems with cops in the southern part of California. I didn't spend a lot of time there, but it was more the regulations are more in place in Los Angeles. I mean, parking was awful. So I parked as far on the outskirts as I could, bicycled in. I mean, I was able to go to like not quite Venice, California, the Venice, LA, but around there, north of there. The only way I was able to get there is by bicycle, and I think I rode like 8 miles. I mean, I was not willing to park in that area, and it was difficult when I kind of tried to, because I actually got kicked out of a library. It was like in an Asian district, and this Asian guy came up and said I can't like hang out in this spot in the library, and that was like the only spot I felt comfortable hanging out in. So then I just left. Let's see, not medicinal marijuana. Let's see, what's your favorite part of America? Geez, I'd say, once again, like the coast. the Pacific coast in the northern part is pretty nice, with the sequoia trees and the way the landscape is. But I mean, I couldn't stay there. It's like there's more to see in the rest of the United States. But the coast is like you can relax with the weather the way it is. It's pretty relaxed. Yeah, Squim is a high class area. The Squim isn't very well known, but that's a pretty nice area because it's in the rain shadow. Rain shadow cities are pretty nice. Like, well, there's not a lot of rain shadow cities, but that's one of the nicer cities because of the rain shadow. Matty Ice and Major Tom are two investigators. All right, I think this is becoming clear. Let's see, Major Tom, and they investigate each other. That's what cops do. When they don't have a civilian to investigate, they'll just investigate each other. Why not? Let's see, someone who might have rented too, they know a lot. Yeah, Major Tom does. Matty Ice knows this. Matty Ice knows about Major Tom. Major Tom's probably already researching Matty Ice now, and we're gonna have this come full circle where everybody knows each other by through their investigative channels. That's great. Why not? Ask questions. That's what I did at the library in Williston, was ask questions, and I got arrested for it. All right? This library I'm sitting in front of you in their Wi-Fi, there's a painting on the wall that, let's see, I took a picture of it. Let's see. I'll quote it verbatim. I think it was something that Albert Einstein said or something. And I was thinking about posting it to my Instagram. They actually put something on the wall. What? No. That, encourages asking of questions. I might even be able to show it. Camera, I took a picture of it. Oh, I took a lot of video afterwards. I uploaded it to my laptop already, didn't I? Yeah, I already uploaded it. There's something about asking questions is the way of life, or something like that. I don't know. If the Williston Library had a little saying like that about asking questions, because that's what book reading is about. That's what discovery and learning is about, is asking questions and learning the answer. And that would have been funny if there was a little quote where we were all standing discussing these verbal rules and unmarked areas, unmarked quarantine areas. It would have been interesting to have that. But no, in Williston, they take the approach of ask no questions, keep secrets, maintain your circle of friends, and don't expand any I don't know, information outside of your circle of friends. Keep it tight. Keep your information tight. Yeah, Matty Ice is now confessing to being an investigator. So, thank you. It's cleansing to come clean with your information, with your background. They make donut squares. Okay. Yeah, that might be something. If there's a demand for it, you might be able to make some money off that. Help you figure out how he knows about Mike. Oh, Mike Paul owes me money. Does he feel that way? Have you asked the guy? I consider us even, but I mean, that's the thing. That's one of the best ways to get to blackmail somebody is through debt. You find out who is in debt to who, okay? And good luck finding any information on me about that. But there are a lot of people in sticky situations where they're indebted to somebody else in some way. So that's a good one, Matty Ice. You are a professional. You're definitely a professional at investigating. Yeah, asking questions is investigating, and I have no problem. Investigate all you want. I mean, but I'd like to make an equal investigation on my end too. And a lot of times with cops, it has to only go one way. It's ridiculous. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not able to get on the internet with my phone, but I've been watching Williston. I keep Williston on my Weather Channel app, and I check it off, and I'm like, what would it be like if I was up there right now, researching at the courthouse, and it's like 2 degrees at night. I don't think I want to be there. 20 long for playing with what? Who's that? Who's playing with children? Let's see. How do you deal with cold feet? You exercise. That's the number one solution to cold. To dealing with the cold is through exercise. I'm exercising, and the particular exercise, step ups. Go to Harbor Freight, get that 12-inch or 13-inch step stool, the foldable step. Because I mean, I could fit it in my Ford Focus, and I use it for more than stepping. This thing is great. Check this thing out. This is a foldable step stool. All right, and it's good sized. It's also my seat. I set things on it. I step up on it. It's got a 350 pound weight limit. I love stepping on the thing. I don't feel comfortable jumping on it. Yeah, I'm done with fermented foods. Thank you, Major Tom. Love your new exercise program site. Exercise. Yeah, maybe I could change my channel name. It's AcuMagnet Health Pro. I still believe in the power of magnets. In fact, I keep some magnets right here. They're so tough to, like, a stack of magnets. I keep if my heart's going crazy or kind of calm down, but I haven't really needed to use it for that in a while. It cools down when you're sleeping, but the exercise it makes it more tolerable even while sleeping in colder weather. You can deal with that cold. And doing step ups is a big help right now. I had to climb a hill at a dam. There's a big hill, and wow, I handled that hill a lot easier because I've been doing step ups right next to my car on this footstool, my footstool fitness, and I can handle more regular movement, like going up a hill. Going up this hill at the Runestone Park, I actually ran up it a little bit. I was so energetic that I ran up it, and normally I wouldn't have that kind of energy, but doing the step ups on my step stool keep the energy going, keep that momentum. Because if you stop exercise, I can't just rely on exercise, walking around. I gotta do in between exercises too, in different ways. Attack the muscles from different angles. It makes sleeping in colder weather more tolerable for sure. Come home. Okay, it's Tanya Hines. That's great. Okay, so how many computers does Major Tom have? Because he's got to get off his accounts of Major Tom to get on the Tanya Hines accounts. So you got to go back and forth with that one. That's a little work, but maybe there's people who have multiple computers. I guess if you got that kind of motivation. I think my ankles easily dislocate. Well, they're gonna dislocate if you don't exercise them. That's the thing. I had shoulder problems and knee problems, but you kind of exercise through that. You attack it at different angles, and then the pain goes away. It's like if you haven't bicycled in a while, then you bicycle and your knees hurt. You don't just stop. You kind of have to go through that because that's a pain that's telling you went without exercise for too long. So you gotta work through the pain a little bit, and the longer you go without exercise, the worse that pain will be. Exercise is something that needs to be a continual thing, It's so important, and I'm trying to do that, but I got a rainy day right now. Sitting in my car, it's difficult. But I got the attitude that exercising throughout the day is good. It's really it provides a lot of benefit for me. Um, yeah, we got a personal trainer out of New Mexico. Um, yeah, let's see if I don't at least walk. Well, walking is not enough. Walking is just what you do to get to the next exercise. I tried just walking and just bicycling, and I still had problems. All kinds of problems. I couldn't, like the digestive issues. I was getting like gut inflammations that would last a week. It was just, I couldn't move. There was this strange inflammation that would flare up, and I couldn't move even. It was so painful. And then and somebody said sit-ups, and I was like, really, just sit-ups? That'll solve that? And then I started exercising, doing the table stands, doing the crab walks. Crab walks are my favorite. I walk around this town, and I would stop and drop down and do some crab walks. It's really a rewarding exercise. It opens up the whole digestive tract, because you're stretching it kind of in a way, or just working the back, or it's just something that helps the digestion. But yeah, exercise really solves a lot of problems. It doesn't stop the fart attacks, though, as Major Tom's pointing out. But doing the table stands opens up that channel to allow the wind to pass through better. Because if you're sitting here like I am right now, hunched over, it closes things down. You fold the tubes up, and you got to open them up. And table stands or crab walks really open things up. It opens up the chest, opens up the digestive tract. It's pretty nice. Yeah, a variety, like NM Personal Training says, a variety of exercise is great. And some low impact exercises can lead to high impact exercises. If the high impact exercises hurt, then you backtrack to the low impact. But I'll tell you, stepping up on my 12-inch step stool gets me wanting to run more often. Unfortunately, I hurt my calf doing it. So I still pull my calf. This is the second time I pulled my calf a couple weeks ago. But my calf is probably failing on me because I'm not doing enough calf raises. I don't get a good calf raise stepping up on a higher platform. Let's see. Every night. Yeah, I'm in my car every night. Paranormal activity. Nope, that doesn't exist. Let's see. Okay, I'll have to look at your channel, personal training. I tend not to get personal with people's training. I'll make a little video every so often of something new that I find interesting with exercise. But if you have, I'd highly recommend always having a step stool nearby to step up on for exercise is great. I like, just last night I put my feet on it and I was doing push-ups on this 12-inch step stool, and I was working the upper part of my pec. And I never really felt that. It's been a long time since I felt that blood rush, and it's a great feeling. Because I was normally doing push-ups straight on the ground with my feet on the ground, and it's really rewarding to have a higher elevation. And I did that with table stands too. I put my feet up on the 12-inch step stool and just do a table stand, and that changes the angle, so you can work the lower back a little bit better. There's a lot of rewarding things that come out of this 12-inch step stool. And when I want my car, I could sit on my step stool. I have a cushion I could put on it. It's really quite a versatile piece of equipment to use when you're living in your car, to have this type of step stool, a foldable step stool. That's 12 inches, because most of them are 8 inches. So it's a little too short for me. So, yeah, anyway, I've gone off on a tangent with this. I don't really know what else I wanted to say. Okay, Darlene Clark says good morning. West Virginia? Nope, I can't say I've ever been there. That's somewhere I'd like to check out, but it won't be for a few years. I'm taking my time going across the country. I know the West Coast really good. There's a lot to the West Coast. I've missed a lot in the West Coast, but I've seen a lot. Aliens don't exist. That's up for debate. There's a lot of people who have different opinions. Figure out some kind of device fit in your car that allow you to hang from. Nah, I gotta really allows you to stretch out the body. Yeah, Cathal Butler. Yeah, right. That's why I got the dip bars. I got the larger dip bars, and they're great. I pretty much hang on the dip bars. I was doing dip bars last night. I pulled out. See, when I parked, I had to park outside this town. That's why I shouted him out. All right. I parked outside of this town somewhere where there weren't a lot of traffic, and the two things I pulled out, I'll just say two for exercise equipment, were my dip bars and my footstool. And I just did exercise. I put my feet up while I was doing the rows on the dip bar, and then doing push-ups. I put my feet up on it, on the footstool. Those two things are now turning into my primary exercise equipment, right next to my car. So if I park in a good spot, I can get a fairly good exercise in all around by doing rows, dips, push-ups. And then crab walks, catfish. There you go. Catfish is pretty good. Only steamed. I only steam my catfish though. I'm done boiling that stuff. Let's see. Push the issue, big dog. So that's for exercise. I crave exercise, but I don't get it as often as I'd like. So it's really a difficult situation. And I'm getting into more rainy areas, so it's really it's like there's some times where I could get in a nice area, but now it's the rain is becoming more an issue. Vegetation looks nice. Coming out of the desert, but more cloudy days. I mean, I need that too. So it's like I wasn't too thrilled about being in the desert with all the sunny days, heat, and let's see, how many bicycles have you had stolen? Let's see. I'm asking because wait. Thank you. You have a sense you have made your mind up quite a lot on topics. Yes. Keep yourself healthy. Yep. I'm definitely, exercise wouldn't be something that I crave so much if I didn't have good nutrition back it up. So I think I'm feeling extra energy by boiling wild grasses. But I'm taking on the attitude with boiling wild grasses that I don't want to eat. I don't want to do it every day. I pushed it, and I found out some side effects from the Indian grass, and so now I want to work on more variety. And what I was doing before was I was putting the herbs directly. I was putting the dry herbs directly into my French press, and then quickly I boil up the water, and then quickly I got to get the water into the French press as fast as I can, so I don't lose a degree of temperature, so I can maximize the effects from the hot water. But now I'm taking on the attitude I don't really care to be struggling so much about that. I've decided I'm gonna just boil everything in the teapots. All right, I've been cooking. I'm developing a style of food preparation where it's I call it teapot cookery. All right, I've cooked broccoli in here. I've cooked beans. I've cooked potatoes, but that I gotta boil it twice to have a decent potato out of the teapot. But everything really can go into the teapot, and it's easy to measure, because I mean it alerts you when it's boiling. And that's, you know, a lot of times I'll forget about it. Even standing outside my car, I'll walk away from my car as I'm cooking and maybe forget about it. But the teapot lets me know. So I'm getting in more to the habit. And it doesn't, yeah, you don't need to wash pots that much. People overrate that. You boil, and I'm looking into possibly starting to boil. I'd like to look into boiling like stream water. I'm very interested in that. That's something to play with. I've been boiling a lot of vegetation. And what about stream water? I think I could kill the bad stuff in stream water if it's a healthy area, and drink with, and I wouldn't have to worry about looking for buying water from it or stealing water. I wouldn't have to worry about that. I could just steal water from nature as long as I boil it. I'm looking at, this is survival stuff, and survival stuff. Yeah, it's the thing. I don't want to trouble myself with chemical tablets to put in the water to kill things, or the straw to strongly filter. I don't really care to filter, to worry about filtering or chemically killing any bad stuff. Boiling is the primary method of preparing water. And for filtering, I got my French press. I'll filter with my French press. This is a pretty good filter. Look at this thing. That's sieves. You can barely even see the holes. That is a filter. All right. You boil the water, and look for, you don't just take any muddy water. You're not a wild animal. You could choose, a nice puddle. And yeah, I would not, I'm not going to I thought about the survival straw. I got 5 teapots in my car. Yeah, and 160 degrees kills most bacteria. That's right. I got 5 teapots to boil water. So if I was in a sticky situation and there's water nearby, which I'm finding more water, I'm not in the desert anymore. It's raining right now, so I'm going to find puddles of water. I could just fill up my 5 teapots, and then what's my bottleneck at this point? Is fuel, having fire. I'm relying a lot, heavily. Let's see, Bear Heinz. Okay, that's great. I'm relying. What did I? Oh yeah, I'm relying heavily on propane for fuel, and I'd like to get away from that. All right, I use the canisters a lot, and I have 2 of these burner things. I just bought this thing, and I've had this one for a while, so I don't know if I can show these 2 burners. I got 2 burners now, and you can see I got there's a difference between the power on these things. Yeah, boiling. I don't want to deal with chemicals. I think boiling is the primary, is going to be my primary go-to for stream water when I decide to play with that idea. And I've been parking in some remote areas where it's looking more attractive to just boil water so I can stay another day, because I only carry 3 gallons on me roughly, and so that makes fuel as my primary, or fuel will be my bottleneck. Fuel, where being able to keep that fire going. Texas, yeah, I'm coming down to the east part of Texas. Oh, you have free water? Oh, awesome. Place to change. Yeah, I need to change my oil. I may have another 500 miles before I got to change again. Let's see, who is this? Coffin Nails. Oh, that's great. Not, let's see, carrying a distiller with you. Yeah, I don't want to carry anything fancy. I got 5 teapots. That's as fancy as I need to get. 5 teapots for boiling. But the issue is the heat. And I feel kind of bad about relying on propane for my fire. I really want to look into this firebox more. I want to be able to rely on the natural. If I'm gonna drink stream water, I think I would want to be able to pick the sticks and grasses near the stream as well, and use it as fuel. And I really haven't figured out any method for that. I think I'd like to look into more using the nature for fire too. Fire makes a big difference in surviving. Well, yeah, out here at least, in the more woodsy types of areas. I don't know how people survive. You just don't survive in the desert. There's nothing in the deserts. It's like you read the Lewis and Clark. You read pioneers' accounts of going through the desert before they get to California. I mean, yeah, there's going to be natural springs that help, but the deserts are a struggle. A lot of parts of the desert, at least. Let's see. Well, I'm interested in the firebox. That is like $100, but I think it might be worth it. At least to play with it, and then I could use the natural local vegetation for starting the fires, for keeping a fire going, for having free fuel. Starting the fire then would become my bottleneck. Right now, this is a bottleneck. Just more breakpoint. Maybe you call it a breakpoint. I don't know. Yeah, I was not for cactus. What Darlene says, with cactus, I wasn't brave enough to really look into cactus too much. They got these tiny barbed needles that mess with me. I tried to eat fruit off of a cactus, and I got tiny barbed needles that stayed in my fingers for 3 weeks. It was an awful experience. And I've had bad experience with aloe too. Trying to consume aloe, you don't ever want to consume aloe. I had like an allergic reaction that it would like I don't know, drain potassium from you. It'd make my heart skip a beat. So I'm done with aloe, and cactus don't seem too different from aloe. Grass, there's some grasses that kind of look like aloe, but I mean, grass is actually edible more than aloe. I didn't really develop a trust of the vegetation of the Southwest desert. Only the what is it? The ephedra, sort of the ephedra, but not a really good rapport with I never developed a good full understanding of ephedra. I tried it. I wasn't too happy with it, so I kind of gave it up. Rocks in our fire, wrapped them in clothes, put them in our sleeping bags. Oh yeah. I kind of played around with boiling, so I have 5 teapots full of hot water that would warm up the car a little bit, but really blankets ultimately are what I'm relying on. Yeah, the prickly focus within. Yeah, the prickly pear cactus was really a nasty cactus to me, because it's got all those fine hairs on the fruit. And I bought the fruit at a store, and the store-bought fruit from the prickly pear cactus is no comparison to what you pick out in the wild. But it's a give and take, you know. I didn't develop any good habits or practices for cleaning those little fine hairs off. It's a tasty fruit, but those hairs are just terrible. Let's see. So yeah, survival's a different topic, from desert to the Pacific coast to the woods. You got different issues between the different parts of the United States. Survival isn't just like an all around, or maybe there's some things like just building a fire. I guess there's some things that you could connect between the types of methods you use, but there's a lot of different approaches to survival from one part of the country to the next, especially with vegetation. The vegetation looks so different from one part of the country to the next, and it's not like it's clear why one vegetation stops growing at a certain point and another starts. It's like there's no clear line, but it happens. It's like some birds, like the grackles, those big-tailed grackles, only live in the southwest desert. You start seeing trees, you start getting to areas where there's significant tree cover. Those grackles don't do well at all. They don't exist. And I think I kind of saw part of the reason why is because the birds that do thrive with more trees around actually chase those loud, annoying grackles around. those grackles, yeah, they prefer the grass. Boring stuff. Yes, that's right. No, it's boring is what I'm trying to stick with here. This is just a boring morning. It's only what, like a Wednesday or something, Tuesday, and I'm just trying to get myself motivated to take off and head further south. Let's see. Yeah, it's amazing the things you learn by traveling, and that's why I don't mind not having Wi-Fi, like paying for Wi-Fi. Like when I owned my house, I always had to have Wi-Fi. I was paying monthly for Wi-Fi. I needed it, and then now that I'm traveling, it's not so important. I kind of like getting in between Wi-Fi at times, getting away from it. I pay the YouTube Premium for $12 a month, and I download videos that I could watch for Wi-Fi. So let's see. Yeah, protein. I cook chicken in my car. That's become a pretty good source for protein. I got whole milk sitting. I sleep next to my milk. All right. But yeah, it's like I'm not trying to. I want to put on strength and get. I want to get more fit, but I also want to be able to travel too. So I'm not. I guess I can't be fully committed to fitness if I want to travel, because there's some places that you just like. I wanted to hang out at that dam, so I had to like reduce my eating so I could hang out another day. I can't compromise on water though. Peanuts are okay. You find local vegetation too. I mean, so it's about processing. You got to be able to properly process that protein. You can't just rely on only protein. Protein doesn't digest itself. You need like proper vitamins and stuff to help aid in digestion of that. I was on a protein diet for a long time, and my biggest problem was constipation from that. It slows. It's just it binds up. You gotta. Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Thanks, Love Royalty. You're right. It's the morning, so I got morning breath. It's a good thing that this screen is a good block. I'm not fogging up the screen, blowing into it. It's pretty moist out, but it's not that cold. I don't do peanut butter because all the peanut butter companies add sugar, and even the ones that don't add sugar, I get like heartburn from. If you start getting heartburn from peanut butter, you can switch to peanuts, and that's what I have done. And when I was drinking Indian grass tea, it felt like I was having issues with digestion because of the peanuts. Peanuts are known to slow down the digestion, so I thought that maybe that was it, but really it's just the Indian grass tea that was causing me problems. You just have black pepper or ginger. It helps increase the peanuts slow down the digestion. Yeah, they're kind of a challenge to that in ways. So yeah, you can't rely on peanuts entirely. I want to bring in more tea with my teapot cookery. I want to boil more green beans because they're not too bad. They kind of taste like a chocolatey taste. Um, Boondocking on the Texas coast. All right, I was down in Port Isabel up to where Selena died. Whatever the name of that place, the city. I can't think of it. Where Farrah Fawcett was born, whatever the name of that city is. I was on the coast a little bit. I saw people hanging out on the coast, but I didn't really get the impression. Corpus Christi, yeah, that's the one. I didn't get the impression people were actually boondocking on the coast. I got the impression that it's discouraged, actually. But that was the southern tip coast, closer to the Mexican border. I think the border patrol might run people out closer to the border, maybe within even 50 miles of that border. Yeah, I cook beans in my teapots. It works fine. They get soft enough, so it works. The teapot can do broccoli. The teapot can do green beans. The teapot cookery is really is a good way to make cooking easier. Just toss things in the teapot and wait for the whistle. That's it's just a matter of having the heat source. Let's see, I don't even know what I spend the most money. It's gonna be food because I'm what, like 230 pounds, so I'm spending money on food a lot. That's my greatest expense. No phone, no car payments, gas. I try to keep my driving down to a minimum. Maybe I'm spending $60 to $80 a month on gas. I try to bicycle more. Like I parked at the bottom of this big hill at the Runestone Park and bicycled up when most other people will but drive up that big hill. I bicycled up it. I try to put more effort into bicycling. So spending money on parts for bicycle, that's I've been spending more money on parts for bicycles recently than the car. I don't know what's going to go out in this car. It's running fine. Let me just say, when I was at the dam, I was looking around the woods and just exploring around. I ran the drone a little bit. You see that my community forum, I put a little drone footage up. That was the area where I found. Let's see. I found this tool. All right, is near. What's the name of that river? The river, like there's a dam on the Arkansas River, heading down south here, and some guy named Jay Pio. I don't know if I can even show it. This camera is not the best. Does that show up? Let me pull this all off. This guy lost his wrench in the woods. I don't know how that happened. If he crashed, he might have crashed, and then this thing went flying because he tied this thing around it. You see this wrench? He tied this, and he's tied the string around it, and I started pulling on the string, and then the wrench came. The wrench followed. So I kept of course I kept the string on. But this guy like etched his name into the wrench. So if you know, let me just, I'm doing this all one hand. I don't really have anything to like set this camera on. I didn't really plan on going so long here. But is that gonna show? All right, one more. J Peony. Is that gonna? No, that's not gonna show, is it? His name is J Peony. Paini. He lost his wrench in the woods. So I found it. It's useful. I used it to finally fix my tire rubbing. After years and years of my tire rubbing, I finally just went in there and pulled. I actually bought like when this broke, when this happened, like 3 years ago. I actually tried to use a 2.5 pound mallet and hammer away at on my body of my car, and it just, the body wouldn't move. So I gave up, and just the tire was rubbing on the body of the car. And then, because I wasn't really willing to buy anything, so I find this, and I just wrenched the car. I wrenched the body out of the way, and now the tire doesn't rub when I hit bumps. I've been going for years with the tire rubbing issue, and now it's not a problem. All because I found Jay Peony's wrench. So I'll hold on to this thing. This is pretty nice. It's really useful. I just didn't really think to buy any kind of tool. I didn't know exactly what to buy. I was thinking like a plumber's thing or whatever. It's just dumb. I went so many years with that problem. But yeah, I found a wrench in the woods. Just walking around exploring those woods. You see a little bit of those woods in my community section. I think it's the latest post where I post a GIF of the drone shot, and that was pretty cool to find that. I also found a metal spatula and a basketball. Somebody threw a basketball over the cliff. So they're called channel lock pliers. They don't lock though. These you could adjust. They're adjustable pliers, and they're extra long, so you can really get some torque. And it was really, yeah. Oh yeah, does he? Okay. I have to see who. I don't know who he is. I didn't look up his name. I was thinking about typing his name in, and then the city that is nearby. Yeah, this tool is great. But yeah, it's just laying in the woods. It's amazing what you find in some of the most remote areas. In this area, near this dam. Yeah, I'm collecting. I know I have a basketball in my car again. I kind of have the room, but I'm not sleeping very comfortably with the extra stuff. So I definitely have to consider what's a priority. A basketball is not a priority. Let's see, blood transfusion. Oh, you got a blood transfusion. Oh no. That's not good. Dumpster dive, and yeah, people are pretty wasteful. Since you got you can't bend plastic too well. Plastic rubbing, yeah. Okay, thanks for stopping by, Nate the Butcher. I probably don't need to be recording for such a long period of time here. I'm not in a rush to get south, but I gotta do something. I was thinking I'm gonna drive south and then pay attention to places around. If there's maybe a park that has a shelter with a roof, maybe I'll stop and then hang out there. I mean, I could go in this library, but wow, they got on me yesterday. You can only sit an hour at the desk. And this is the first library that actually the librarians actually came up to me and said, okay, your hour's up, time to go, type of thing. So I actually appreciate that they did that though, because sitting that long was actually affecting my chest again. I was folding my organs, and it was getting uncomfortable. And I kind of appreciate that outside influence, them telling me I have to go, rather than me telling myself I have to go. Because you got to get up every half hour from sitting too long and move around. And sometimes when I'm on the internet, I just keep looking around and going to Instagram, going to Reddit, going to YouTube, and I just bounce it around too much, and it's just crazy. I get into the habit, and then my health starts getting affected, and so I gotta keep moving. Get up, have somebody. You gotta have somebody like tell you to get back to, yeah, or your work has to like get you away from the computer. Somebody has to tell you to get off the computer. So I get into that habit, and it affects my health. But with this rain, I can't really get out and do any crab walks anyway. So yeah, it's really a difficult position to be in when it rains like this. I want to do something. Flip on my stomach and lay on my stomach for a little bit to at least change up my positioning in the car from sitting to laying on my stomach. That's the best I can do when I don't really have a good alternative. And I seem to only have an hour's time limit in the library for sitting. I could go in there to use the bathroom, maybe stand around, but to sit at the desk is another issue. They're not like Williston Library, that's for sure. Williston, they made it clear. Actually, I'll just say that this library, they said I only have an hour. The librarian actually comes to you and tells you your hour's up. But they also had that posted on the desk too. They say librarians will come to you and tell you your hour's up. No question, no excuses. No excuses allowed. When your hour's up, your hour's up. They had that posted pretty much like I summarized that. They had that posted right on the desk. Okay, Teresa's been depressed since COVID. Yeah, it's a depressing social issue. Health is declining from immobility will definitely decline your health. That is a guaranteed decline right there. You need to get a step stool, all right, and then step up on it and pace back and forth. Like, yeah, I look like a wrench. Oh wait, I took your wrench. Oh, you're Jackie Poali. Okay, or Peony. All right. Well, I know your last name now. The words making you sound special. Horio typo. There's a. Okay. Yeah. This man. I mean, it must not have sat out in the woods too long because it rains quite a bit, and it's not too rusty. And the string isn't too brittle. So I mean, I don't think it's sat in the woods too long. People are in and out. It's a lot of hunters. I actually scared a deer. A deer found a pretty good spot to hide from the hunters. Status of the Williston case. Yeah, the Williston case, I got my lawyer on it now. What's his name? Let's see. No, Hernando. All right. I keep practicing this because I'm kind of scared of the things he's been doing recently. I'm like, no, Hernando, no. I don't know, for some reason I got into this habit of saying no, Hernando, like he's about to do something that I disagree with. I'm like, that's how I remember his name now. No, Hernando. No, I do it, but I say it more like, no, Hernando. Like he's about to jump over a cliff or something, and I'm like trying to verbally stop him, but he seems to be doing a good job. So I mean, it's reasonable for him to ask. It's reasonable for him to make a second discovery request. I think it's reasonable. He's come on so late. The case kind of needs a recharge anyway. So, but it's that second objection to Rule 707 that got me saying no, Hernando. Like, I don't think he's gonna do anything I don't want him to do, because if he did, I know how to file motions. I know how to file objections. You know how embarrassing it would be for me to file an objection against my own lawyer? I don't think he wants to do that. He knows I know how to write that paperwork. And I will do it. I'll look up court cases if I have to even. But it would just be so bad for me to have to do that. I'm already objecting to the prosecution. For me to have to object to my own lawyer would just be an embarrassment to the judicial system. I hope he sticks with what I want him to do. And I've laid that out for him, I think, pretty clearly. I've written the motion to suppress. I've written the motion to dismiss. I've written those two different motions to be argued at a later hearing at some point. So I need him to stick to the game plan that I've laid out already. All right? I don't want him stepping off course. I don't want him negotiating with the prosecutor in any way besides dropping the case. Anything more than dropping the case, I don't want to deal with. All right? I really want to hear the judge decide on the arguments that the prosecutor has made against my objection for my Fourth Amendment rights, my objection for my First Amendment rights. He's already made it clear what his stance is on my Sixth Amendment rights, that I do have civil right. I do have a right to a lawyer. The judge has made it clear. Sixth Amendment rights, I'm allowed. Now I'd like to hear what he has to say. Using my lawyer to argue my case, I'd like to hear what the judge has to say in favor of my First Amendment rights and my Fourth Amendment rights. I want these issues resolved because I'm still getting harassed by cops, and they're still pushing my First Amendment rights and my Fourth Amendment rights. So I wanna see what the judge in North Dakota has to say, and that I could use for other states. Like what? I'm in Oklahoma right now, so what's going to happen? That's this a Fourth Amendment issue. It pervades from state to state. Yeah, I need a gazebo for sure. I'm looking for some kind of shelter, I'm looking on the map, and I'll look after I'm done with the live stream. I want to look on the map. It's hard to see on the map. Sometimes I have to look on foot, look on tire, what's really on the ground, because timing. Sometimes the pictures are old on the map, and they might be on something recently built or something recently demolished. I'm kind of angry about this soccer park I planned on going to. It's like a private property. I'm gonna put a complaint. I'm gonna go to Google Maps, put a complaint. There's actually a soccer park that says it's a soccer park on Google Maps, and I went out there. There's no access to it, and I even see there's a soccer park, but there's goats and cows and a horse on this soccer park. What? And it looks like somebody's living there. It's like his backyard, and he's raising livestock on a soccer park that's marked as a soccer park on Google Maps. It's got a goalpost. It's got the posts and all that, the nets. But they're raising goats and cows on the soccer park. And there's no access. It's all gated, so I can't drive up to it. It's crazy. There's just, like, you just don't know. You could study the map, but it's like, yeah, it certainly looks like it's sold or something, but it's been sold for a long time. There's a water tower right next to it. Let's see. Has COVID affected my ability to park or stay in places that I was able to park or stay pre-COVID? For parking? Not for parking, no. Just for going in the buildings. Not for parking next to the buildings. I'm still maintaining maintaining the same habits of parking, prioritizing Walmarts, prioritizing sides of streets. Hospitals might be a challenge, but I haven't really needed to look into hospitals too closely. I did try to walk into a hospital just to use the bathroom. Mindset, hey, I got a medical emergency. I got to use the bathroom. But they turned me around. They said I can't use the bathroom in the hospital. And I think it's everywhere. There's somebody who sits at a desk right in front of the hospital. When they're not practicing their dance routines, they're sitting in front of the hospital turning people away. And you can't even use a hospital for the bathroom. So I look at woods. I'm looking towards to the woods, and I'm saying that because I'm not in the desert anymore. So it's actually, I got more options for not using indoor plumbing anymore, being more surrounded by woods as opposed to being in the desert where it's like, I think I can't really hide behind trees. So I couldn't hide behind trees so much. Hide behind a saguaro cactus. You can't really do that in the desert. In the desert, it's more about just getting distance away from any people that could see you want to go to the bathroom or whatever. But in the more woodsy areas, you could hide behind more trees. Although people will still call. I had that one that in Jay, Oklahoma. Somebody called the cops and said I was messing around in the woods. So there's that issue too. But they don't really see what you're doing. It's just a matter of them sending cops in to investigate what you're doing in the woods, type of thing. But yeah, my parking really isn't too affected. I parked on the side of the road here, no problem overnight. It's I don't know. I didn't have any problems parking in Williston after the arrest. No night cops came by to tell me I need to keep moving, and I parked in several different spots, and that was during COVID. There's parking is it's mostly going inside buildings. All right, that's the issue. It's the enclosed contacts that they're dealing with. If you're outside, then it's no problems. So there's that. I mean, yeah, for parking, that's not an issue. There's a lot of buildings that I'm kind of avoiding now, that small businesses that I'll avoid because they require face masks. But they got shortened hours anyway, and a lot of them only do delivery or something. It's not like I was really going into small businesses anyway. Just major grocery outlets has been my focus. Major department stores is my focus. So that's the habits I keep with. Even in small towns. Yeah, whatever. So the rain's only gonna get worse today. I gotta pass the time some way. I gotta get exercise in and moving. So maybe I should just quit this. I've spent enough time messing around. I see this connection's really good in this city, and yeah. So thanks for stopping. I'll do it again sometime.